Coming up on this second hour of American Sunrise, President Trump is cracking down on lawlessness in Chicago with Operation Midway Blitz, sending ICE to target illegal immigrants and take back the streets. All the while, Democrats and activists are complaining. Many Americans are saying it's about time someone stood up for law and order, though. We've got the very latest from the Windy City. A bold strike far from the war zone. Israel confirms a precision attack on Hamas leaders in Qatar's capital, Doha. It's the first known operation there where Hamas has long operated freely. Details of Israel's mission to take out the mastermind of the October 7th attacks. And later, a disabled Vietnam veteran is under attack, fighting to keep his "Trump is my president" banner flying. His struggle and so much more is ahead right now on the second hour of American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
we have breaking news to share with you.
Politics.
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
We've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina.
And welcome back, everybody, to the second hour of American Sunrise. I'm David Brody, coming to you from D.C. Let's bring in Dr. G in West Palm, T. Bates in our Denver newsroom. Good morning to both of you. You know, we've been talking a lot about the Charlotte Light Rail, brutal, horrible killing. And Gina, you were so eloquent at the top of the first hour, and I'm sure you'll be in this hour as well. We have some breaking news here to share with you. President Trump just putting this out on Truth Social. I'll read it to you. The animal who so violently killed the beautiful young lady from Ukraine who came to America searching for peace and safety should be given a quick, there is no doubt, trial and only awarded the death penalty. There can be no other option. 3 exclamation points, President Donald J. Trump. Gina, your reaction.
Yeah, I don't know, drawn and quartered. I literally just, I cannot believe the brutality and the callousness of this individual. And, if he's mentally ill, then let's have the conversation about what is more humane for people. Because I'll tell you something. Here's another place where I've been proven wrong in my political walk. It is that I took part in deinstitutionalization. I was a huge advocate of it because I worked in mental institutions for different various internships for my degrees and whatever. And I saw people like my Samuel in mental institutions. That is wrong. But that doesn't mean it's wrong straight across the board, right? This person should have been in a mental institution to keep harm from himself and certainly from others. And we've done away with that in our society. We've gone way too far in favor of criminals. And as a result, this is what we have. And the blood is on our hands. And I was in the chat, David and Terrence, and someone was telling me, oh, this happens all the time. This one just happened to get national attention because she was Ukrainian. But it happens all the time, this kind of brutal murder just on our streets. Apparently there was a veterinarian, someone mentioned, that was murdered in the same way. What I still can't believe, and I think what perhaps Congresswoman hadn't seen is the video in its entirety, because when you watch the entirety, it's not just that people stood aside while the guy was stabbing her. I have to tell you, if I'd been sitting next to her, I'd have been scared to death. I probably would have frozen in panic too. I'm talking about after he was off the train, how long it took anyone to come to her aid. That was just extremely upsetting to me, Terrence.
Wow.
No, I think that's fair, and I think that the suspect in this case is going to be tried by a jury of his peers, and whatever verdict they return will be a just verdict. At least that's my hope. Guys, let's get to some other headlines of the day. Poland, and by extension its NATO allies, could be one step closer to war this morning after Polish and Dutch fighter jets shot down 4 of 19 Russian drones that entered Polish airspace. The country's prime minister says that Poland is, quote, at its closest to open conflict than at any time since World War II. This marks the first time Russian drones have been downed over Poland, which is in the midst of a years-long war with neighboring Ukraine. Russian Ukraine, of course, that would be. Many are questioning whether the drones are a Russian escalation meant to test NATO's response. In a statement, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk saying, quote, I have no reason to claim we're on the brink of war, but a line has been crossed and it's incomparably more dangerous than before. We'll continue to monitor this situation. In the meantime, there is chaos in France this morning as protesters there are rioting in the streets across that country. At least 200 people have been arrested so far, and demonstrators are clashing with police. 80,000 police officers have been deployed, which is considered an unusually strong show of force. Today's protest comes as the French government appears to be in disarray. President Emmanuel Macron just installed a new prime minister, continuing the carousel of French prime ministers. There have been at least 4 in the last 2 years, with the outgoing minister lasting just 9 months. One of the key issues plaguing the French government is its out-of-control debt and inability to tame that debt. That's a quick check of your headlines. We'll, of course, have more headlines, including your economic headlines, a little bit later. But now, let's get you back over to David.
Okay, appreciate that. T. Bates, tensions rising in Chicago as President Trump's Midway Blitz immigration crackdown hits the streets. ICE agents have made multiple arrests targeting illegal immigrants with criminal records. And we should point out, about an hour ago or so, I spoke to someone at Department of Homeland Security, and they tell me some actual statistics will be out soon, but they're trying to compile it all, and then they will release it. Of course, you've got Mayor Brandon Johnson in Chicago there, and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, who are calling the operation reckless and militarized. The White House says it's about protecting communities, of course, from sanctuary city lawlessness. More arrests are expected. And our own Ben Bergquam is on the ground in Chicago. He was confronted by protesters. Look at Ben. Take a look at this.
It's unbelievable, guys. This is the problem. I just want to make sure the media understands this is only happening because of these activists. The only reason that CPD is out here wasting all of these resources is because you have leftist activists.
What's about Chicago? This guy
threatened federal agents. Said the Second Amendment goes both ways.
Second Amendment goes both ways.
So this guy threatened federal agents. How many criminals do you want to keep?
You're one.
Rapists, murderers.
You guys
How many?
And it goes on and on. Amazing stuff. For more, let's bring in the man himself. That'd be Ben Bergquam, the brave patriot, who joins us. Ben, are you in Chicago? I'm assuming you're in Chicago. Is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning,
just
Ben.
finished up 3 days of operations with ICE. We've got a special press conference coming up a little bit later on a different topic. I'm heading to that right now, and then I'll be back out tomorrow as these Midway Blitz operations continue. But you know, you mentioned Brandon Johnson and Governor Pritzker saying President Trump and ICE are creating chaos. It is Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson's policies that have created the chaos in this city, and it is people like those activists. That scene you just played was after I'd been with ICE, we had embedded with ICE, we had staked out a criminal illegal alien who had been charged and convicted multiple times for very serious crimes. And I can't even get into the crimes right now because we don't want to blow who they're actually still going after. That guy is still at large today because of those leftist activists who are incentivized, encouraged, and even profited or paid for by Brandon Johnson and Governor Pritzker and these leftist NGOs that are being paid for with taxpayer dollars. It is criminal. It's absolutely criminal. And ICE is out there going into these communities. The only reason they're having to go into these communities for many of these, the worst people in our society, are because this is a sanctuary jurisdiction. It's a sanctuary state that lets criminal illegal aliens out of the jail back into the communities. You want to stop the chaos, Brandon Johnson? You want to stop the chaos, Governor Pritzker? Let ICE go into the jails and pick these guys up when you have them in custody.
Ben, I want to tread lightly here because you made it quickly. You've made it clear, that you don't want to release too much so as to warn some of the criminals who are still being sought. But I think perspective is very important, particularly in this day and age. And I'll watch your back as well. I don't know what's going on, but I'll kind of keep an eye out for whatever's behind you as well. Mm-hmm. But I think it is important for our viewers to know the kinds of people, the specific kinds of crimes that these ICE agents are going after and that may already have been arrested. I think that perspective is critical.
Yeah, we caught one yesterday that had a rape of a family member under the age of 18. We got a child molester. We've got 2 guys from Kyrgyzstan. You've got multiple illegal aliens from Islamist countries that are here that have no allegiance to America, that support Sharia law. Murderers, rapists, you go down the line, multiple DUI manslaughters. It just goes on and on and on. Every single one of these people victimizing not just American citizens, but other illegal aliens. These same hypocrites that say they care about so-called migrant communities send the criminal illegal aliens back into the inner city in one of the most dangerous cities, not just in America, but in the world, back into those communities to victimize American citizens, but also the illegal alien population that are so-called innocent. They all need to go. They're all illegal aliens here. But what ICE is doing is targeted enforcement. They're going after the worst of the worst. When you see these rap sheets, guys, it will blow your mind. One had over 40 convictions. 40. It's insane. And the fact, and I go around and I ask everybody, what crimes are okay, guys? Are you okay with this crime? Are you okay with this crime? Are you okay? And these guys will not say any crime. They don't want anyone deported. And the reality is, yes, the illegal aliens got to go. The criminal illegal aliens, the worst ones got to go first. But our biggest threat in this country are the enemies within, legal citizens and illegal aliens who are also fighting us in the streets to stop ICE from doing their jobs. And the politicians like Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson.
Yeah, the rhetoric on the left, Ben, is really out of control on this, and not really on the side, I don't think, of most American people, except maybe some coastal elite leftists. But I don't know if you saw the interview between Mika Brzezinski of Morning Joe, and that's on MSNBC, of course, and Tom Homan. But he took special exception to her saying you're disappearing innocent people who've been here paying taxes, and in some cases even in the military for 20 or 30 years. Ben, are you seeing any of that? Is this just a line of the left? Where is this coming from? Because this is what is being propagated by the left.
Yeah, they are being outlets like MSNBC are being spoon-fed by leftist activist lies. Every single person that ICE is going after is a criminal illegal alien. Now, if you go to that house, say for instance, when we were in San Antonio, we went into a house after one criminal illegal alien. It was a criminal warrant. We found 5 other people in that house that were there illegally. Well, all 5 of those illegals are going to go. You still don't have a right to be in our country. So if you're an illegal alien and you're hanging out with criminals and ICE goes after one criminal, you're there as well. Well, you're probably getting deported too. And in my opinion, and I believe in most Americans' opinions, good riddance. But the reality is only illegal aliens are being deported, and only criminal illegal aliens are initially being targeted. There are so many of them. ICE, Tom Homan, all of these guys, they don't have time to waste on the mom and pops that have been here for 30 years, that are just living and working illegally on false security numbers and stealing people's identities. They don't have time to go after those people yet. They have so many criminals to go after, rapists and murderers, and you go down the line. But Mika Brzezinski, and I'll just give you an idea of the mainstream media aiding and abetting the left, the cartels, and these criminal aliens.
Yeah.
We were at a location 2 days ago when WGN Channel 9 here in Chicago blew our spot. They burned our spot. They showed up at a corner when we were undercover, and they pointed their camera directly at our vehicle, and within minutes, activists showed up at that same corner. The mainstream media, fake news media, is just as big of the problem, and they are lying to the American people.
Wow.
They're playing dangerous games. I'll tell you what. Ben Bergquam, thanks for being here. Love your reporting. We appreciate you so much.
And be safe, Ben.
My pleasure. Stay tuned.
Thanks, Ben. All right. Oh, we will. Coming up, are you afraid of the IRS and a coming audit? Late on paying your taxes? Have you not filed for years? There's a lot of questions. Well, if so, we've got answers. You can't afford to miss our next segment. Relief, 2 minutes away. We're back in a moment, everybody.